you have any brothers and sisters?
I have an older brother it's actually his birthday today.
Oh,
So
wish him happy
I
birthday.
wished him happy birthday. He's very happy. He's excited. He's in Sydney, Australia. He's having a ball.
What's his name?
Pranay.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Panay.
birthday, Pranay. You know, he's awesome. I love him. So yeah, I mean, life is great.
Yeah. I think you may have told me this. I'm not sure. You've done Bollywood previously,
I
right?
have done a couple of Bollywood movies and also some that were shot in Australia. Small ones. You know, not just Hindi but other languages too.
And how many languages?
Crazy. I speak 5 languages, but I'm not crazy about that Bollywood type of filmmaking or acting or anything like that. It's too fantasy based for me. I'm a realist.
Okay.
And I'm very deep and philosophical about life.
Did you like the Slumlord?
It was okay. I don't think it painted a great picture about India. I think India is so much more than that. And you can have a movie about a very rich side of India or a very spiritual side of India. But I like the book. I like the writing was very good. Yeah.
We had a good speech or talk earlier concerning the same thing you're talking about now, about the money situation in India.
Oh yeah, demonetization. It's within several years, India is going to be maybe the first country to truly be digital in terms of on so many levels. They already have the largest biometric ID system in the world. I believe something like 500,000 people. Sorry, 500 million people are on a biometric system. It's the largest in the world.
Now, to us who
500
are
million is a huge.
to the layman, what does that really mean?
So it's every citizen of India has a card. It's like a bank card, but it's got a barcode and all that. But it's their ID, who they are, their age, their everything about them. But every citizen has one. So you've got, I think, 500 million people that have signed up for this thing, and you can pay through that card. You can connect your bank card to that card, and you can then use that card to pay for things. And people, I mean, we're finding mothers in little villages using their card to pay for milk and stuff. This is ridiculous. I mean, it's amazing. So within a few years, the whole country is just going to be digital. It's going to be paperless, moneyless. I mean, it's cashless, I guess.
Right.
And they're going to be using this and other electronic payments. There is also like PayPal and all that. We have our version of it, and again, it's like 600-800 million people are on it. That use it. But so India's got some great things going for it. In several years, it's going to be very digital, and they're going to get rid of every single car in India is going to be electric or something like that. So huge.
Yeah.
So I mean, for a country with that size and the steps that they're taking to, really contribute, I would say, towards climate change in a positive way and towards policy and so on, I think it's huge.
Because I was telling you that it scares me. It makes me think, oh man, they could just
hack into. I think some of them
just take your stuff and make you null and void.
I think that the security is very, very tight. And hey, if you don't
You
have
gotta
anything
admit,
in the card,
you gotta admit, it'd be a good horror story though.
What's someone gonna steal? But I mean, I suppose
be a
if you
good
have billions,
sci-fi.
yeah, you might want to be careful. But I'm sure if you have billions, then you have extra security, and perhaps a billionaire won't even use that system.
On that note, since you're IT,
Yes.
and you do have that incredible brain, and you would understand this more than I do. But it's along the same lines as that. What's your thought about Bitcoin and blockchain and all that stuff?
Well, this is a very good question. I think that blockchain is the way of the future. This much I know for sure. I've done a ton of research into it.
Why do you think I was
It is the technology that is going to take us into the future. Now, Bitcoin is a particular cryptocurrency. It's the first of its kind. So it was a smart idea to get in the very beginning, and it did go from 0 to 20,000, and then it, I think, came down to 8, and I don't know where it's at now. I'm not sure if it's going to go back to 20 and exceed it. Perhaps not. All I know is that the blockchain technology is the way of the future, which means that there will be a lot of these little cryptocurrencies, and now they're backed by gold, which makes it very stable.
Mm.
I think each country is going to have its own
Anyway, let me
coin
try to get it.
backed by gold and
Mhm.
was going to be a part of the general ledger and all that. Legal tender in Japan, I think it's already the case.
Mhm.
So I am an investor in Bitcoin. I did get in almost a year and a half ago.
How's
But
it working?
I'm a miner though. I'm a member of a mining club. So
Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
mean I have nothing to lose because we get paid with the billions of transactions, the trillions of transactions that happen, and it's a pool. You pool into this club and you get your dividends. So it's much more reliable and stable, and you don't really have to do anything other than the initial investment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, I recently heard something about this movie company. Doesn't blockchain?
Yeah, there is. It's
Moat
called
Villa or something?
Windor, or yeah, it's a Chinese. I actually
Villa?
know the owner, and it's a film producing financing company that you can finance with the Bitcoin blockchain and stuff. I
Mhm.
think it's a very novel idea, and I think we're going to see more of that. Where in the future, I think movies are going to be funded with the Bitcoin cash.
So you think the insurance guys are going to be pushed out of the
No, I
playing
think
field?
insurance people will be forced to adapt, and they might come up with
Something different, huh?
crypto insurance products.
I can't help but just think this would be a great freaking sci-fi
Yeah.
horror freaking thing.
Movie maybe of some Bitcoin gone wrong. Yeah.
Gone wrong, gone crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Anarchy and stuff. Yeah.
to me, this would be the perfect thing.
Like this is a disaster waiting to happen. Right?
Well, if you go online, the people that are saying this is the beginning of the Antichrist.
Yeah.
This is the mark.
Yeah. It's the end.
If nothing else, you could
Maybe
get,
it'll just be a crypto crash. Yeah.
or you could get a bunch of people to get into that movie seat and eat a bunch of popcorn and make a zillion out of it.
That's true.
So now, with all that being said, I just want to just let you know that I've been a fan of yours for a long time, and now we've become big friends,
We've become very good friends. Yes.
and we've eaten decadent chocolate
Yes,
together.
we have.
And we've eaten Jamaican shrimp.
And we had wonderful lunch sessions at Marie Callender's.
God bless their soul, right?
Yes.
May they rest in peace. So now, is there anything that we've left that we haven't spoken
Yes,
about?
just want to end with some of my upcoming trips because I'm excited. Next month I'll be going to the Cannes Film Festival, so I'll have my European trip. Hopefully going to Italy and Portugal, maybe Ireland. I want to mix some other countries into it. In November, December, I'll be going to Vietnam for my talk.
Mhm.
I do want to go back to India, and if I ever go to India, I always go through Dubai, so I think that might be happening at some point as well. I just imagine that I'll be speaking a lot, and I think some of these trips are still being manifested as I speak. So, yeah, there's going to be lots of travel coming up. I'm going to Vegas a few times for various beauty conventions.
Mhm. How are you received when you go back home to India? Well, when I say back home is Australia.
Well, back home is Australia, which I don't go very much. Although I'm Indian, India is very foreign to me in many ways, but I know a lot of people now. I'd love to get in politically with India as well, so perhaps my next trip will be more of a political one. I should really join a think tank, I think, for foreign policy diplomacy, and because I know people in that, and I'm pretty knowledgeable and stuff, and I'm very passionate and interested in it. So yeah, and then I'll go to Napa Valley, I'll go to San Francisco for a speaker's workshop and stuff. So there's lots of trips happening.
Hmm. Could you ever see yourself, say down the road, like 40, 50 years old, maybe running for office?
Well, I don't think I have to wait till 40, 50. I think it can be younger than that. But well,
Because you're so like entrenched in
no,
entertainment.
I never if I told I was speaking to my mother the other day, and I asked her, I was telling her about politics, and I wrote this wonderful article on the upcoming Indian elections, which is the biggest democratic exercise in the world. It's a billion people voting.
Mhm.
Just imagine, almost 900 million plus voting. because in India they take their democracy very seriously. They're very proud of it. It's a very rich democracy. It's a true democracy, and also not only is it the largest secular country in the world, it's actually the only secular country in the world by the real definition of the word secularism, which is beyond just having the right to practice whatever religion. It actually treats every religion equally. So although we have an 83% majority Hinduism in India, Hindus would not be considered majority in that sense of the word. Legally, they don't have any advantage. I mean, it sucks for the Hindus, but actually minorities get propped up. But it's secularism. It's secular in that way. But so this election is huge. I wrote a great article on how the future of the result of this election does affect the world at large, because such a huge country, it's very strong. It's the third largest economy in the world. Fifth largest in terms of GDP and third largest in terms of PPP. That's huge. And whatever happens to it, it does affect the world at large. And it's not only a AI and technology leader of the world, but it's also the spiritual leader of the world. So I think the world has a lot to gain by looking to India and paying attention. And I just hope that they have fair elections, which they do, they usually do. And I hope that whoever wins with a huge mandate, because I think the country deserves it. They have very strong leadership now. A lot has been done. I think India is shining on the global stage. We have a leader who is, Facebook just announced that he is the most popular world leader in the world. He beat Trump by twice. He's got twice as many likes than Trump. I mean, that is just enormous to think about, And so this is Prime Minister Modi of India, and he shows no signs of slowing down. I do believe he's going to win, and I think his next term is going to be more glorious than the first, and I think it's gonna a lot more is going to be done. So I'm excited for India. I'm very proud to be Indian.
What about him hits you so strongly and gives you that type of faith?
So what's most inspirational about Prime Minister Modi is that people don't know a few things about him. Number one, they don't know where he came from. He was, just imagine this, he grew up in a very poor family. I believe it was, I think his mother predominantly raised him, and from a little town in India. His job growing up was, he used to sell tea in a small train station in a small city in a state in India. So this person was, by all accounts, a nobody. And for him today to be the leader of the free world in many ways, the most popular global leader on social media, from a tea seller in a little train station in India, I think that's ridiculous. That's the story of India, by the way. It's the story of the underdog. It's a story of magic and impossibilities. And all you need is belief, conviction, and you need integrity. You need a pure heart. And he toiled for his countries for all of his age, is almost 70. And so I think most inspirational is where he came from nowhere to the heights of success. But the other point that people don't know is when he was 18, he actually was a renunciate. He gave up everything. He went to the Himalayas, went to an ashram, found a guru, and he became a yogi, and he wanted to become a celibate monk.
He was a monk?
Yeah, he was training to just become a monk forever. And there the seers and the psychics actually looked at him and they thought, this is a special soul. He's going to be the leader of the free world. I'm sorry, but you can't be in the ashram.
He is the golden child.
He's the golden child. He's the real golden child. So they actually sent him back.
Really?
He was sent back. He said, you cannot be in the ashram. You're supposed to do, your dharma in life is to be a global leader. So
dharma is
don't waste your time in the ashram. The ashram doesn't need you. The world needs you. So he was sent back, and he slowly got into very grassroots level of politics and religion, spirituality, and all that. And through that he came up, and he eventually became the chief minister of his state, Gujarat. And in about 12 years, he turned that state from a very bad situation to possibly the most developed and the #1 state in India on many levels. And his whole campaign pitch was, whatever I did for Gujarat, my state, I can do that for the country. And I think to a lot of people he hasn't disappointed. There is love him or hate him. He's really a man of enigma, but there's hundreds of millions of people that swear by him, and even, you know, I go all around the world. You know, I've been to almost 100 countries, and wherever I go, I must say, people look at me, they always say namaste, you're Indian, we love India, and then they say, you have a great leader, we love Modi. And this is like, I mean, you wouldn't, in Dubai, in places that you just wouldn't expect it. So the point is that the world looks at him as a leader.
Oh, cool.
There are always going to be naysayers, there's nexuses of hate, there's a lot of fake news, falsities. People have had smear campaigns on him for many years, to be honest. Tried to topple him, but they didn't succeed. So it'll be interesting to see the future of India.
Very cool. Now I want to also ask you about your latest article. Want
Yes.
people to be able to see that.
Yeah, you can look. It was written in the Observer, so you can check it out. And also, if you just go to my Facebook page, I've posted it there. You could also just Google Preeti Upala, the Observer, or Preeti Upala Indian elections article, and it'll come up. I heard it's getting thousands, tens of thousands of hits, and traveling globally. I think it's getting viral. A lot of people are reading it. So,
Cool. Congratulations.
it's pretty
to you.
hard hitting, but so please contact me. I'm on Twitter. It's Preeti Upala with 2 U's.
Preity.
Preity UUPALA. But on Facebook it's just 1 U, so it's UPALA. I have my own YouTube channel. Please join. I have many videos, many subscribers.
You have a podcast.
I have my own podcast called The Eternal Hour. I'll be putting more episodes up there. I'm writing a book. I'm hopefully going on a book tour soon, like speaking tour. Lots coming. Very excited.
Now, I'm sure women want to know, what do you do to keep looking so beautiful?
Oh, okay. Well,
There are
you
no
know,
wrinkles,
spiritual
there's no
radiance.
bags,
I
there
look
never
probably
are.
10-15 years younger than my real age, but you know, the real beauty
You've never
comes
had a
from-
bag under your eye, as long as I've seen you.
the real beauty comes from within, right? So it's spiritual radiance that shines, you know. So as long as you have self-love and you're connected to source, the radiance will shine through. You know, keep hydrated, work out. I'm vegetarian. You know, eat healthy, eat well. Drink a lot of water, like tea. I love tea. I drink a lot of tea. I drink a lot of chai. But I drink a lot of green tea as well. Fruits, you know, organic, healthy food, and superfoods. I'm all about superfoods.
Kale, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think we've touched on everything. I'm hoping we haven't left anything out.
No, I think we had a very comprehensive talk. Thank you so much. It's been loved spending time with you. It's always an honor.
Thank you so much. Same here. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been with the Golden Child, Miss Preeti Upala, Miss India International. So I got it right finally.
Dude, namaste everyone. Thank you.
Namaste to you. Godspeed on your next trip. And thanks so much. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been Nuclear Popcorn. And we've got Miss Golden Child here saying namaste.